Okay. I'm Dr. Uma Danabalan. Thank you very much.
Very unique spelling. So, what brings you here today?
I am here to educate Jamaica about cannabis, and my topic today is cannabis, the exit drug.
The exit drug. What exactly do you mean by exit drug?
Well, I've been using cannabis for my patients as an option to help them get off of their medications, and also we are facing an opioid epidemic, and we've been able to use cannabis to get them off of their opioids or even decrease their opioid consumption and give them a better way of life and to improve their quality of life.
That's wonderful. So, the cannabis medication is actually better than what they've been taking so far?
Absolutely, because opioids kill, cannabis has killed nobody.
That is so true. I wish more doctors believe what you just told me. So, you promote the alternative medication more than the
Pharmaceuticals.
That's great.
Absolutely, because we know cannabis has been around for over 10,000 years.
Yes.
And again, I repeat, it's one of the safest plants that's been around. And even for somebody to get an overdose, they would have to smoke a joint the size of a telephone pole in 15 minutes if they wanted to try, but they're still not going to die. And we have prescribed medications that are out there now that patients are taking the way their doctors told them to take it and are dying from this medicine.
That is true. We've seen that time and time again, especially in cancer patients. So, when exactly did you start, being such a cannabis activist?
I started to learn first about a system known as the endocannabinoid system about 6 years ago, and I had never learned about it. And even now, only about 15% of the doctors and healthcare providers even know about it because it's not being taught. And I say that this is a system that's over 600 million years old that has evolved from a sea squirt to humans today. And what we've learned is that the endocannabinoid system is so important. I describe it in one word: life. Every cell in our body has receptors. And what we've learned is that the first receptors they identified was called cannabinoid receptor 1, which was primarily in the brain. A few years later, we discovered a second receptor known as cannabinoid receptor 2, which was primarily in the immune system. And what we've realized is that these receptors are all over the body, and that's why cannabis is used now for so many different ailments. And what we've learned also is that when we talk about neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, these are made in the pre, they're released and they bind to the post. Our endocannabinoids are made on demand from the post and they bind to the pre. So it's a retrograde transmission to help us balance.
You said a lot of big words there that honestly I don't really understand. So, what exactly is this retrograde?
Very unique that when you say that. So when we talk about signaling messages, so we talk about dopamine. A lot of people know about dopamine, right? The happy chemicals. So they're made in the presynaptic. That's just the way the connections, messengers. So think about a messenger sent from one part and it binds to another. So that's what we call a pre to a post. But our endocannabinoids are unique in that they're not made in the pre, they're made from the post and they go up. So that's why we call it retrograde.
Interesting.
Okay, so, and it's constantly doing this to bring things to a balance.
So it's like the counterweight of your body.
You could say that. So, and what's also beautiful is that this medicine works differently for different people. What one person needs might not be the same as the other person, but within a person, it can vary because depending on what you are feeling and what the symptoms that you are dealing with, people can use this medicine in different ways. So you can inhale it, you can ingest it, you could put it on your body, you can use it in other ways. They have suppositories that they're putting in the rectum, in the vagina, underneath the tongue, inhalation. So there's a whole array of methods of delivery. And what we're understanding is depending on what you're trying to treat, it kind of gives you a toolkit of different ways of how you can use it.
Wow, that's very interesting. But since and the cannabinoids in our cells are so ingrained in our very existence, why have they been overlooked for so many years in medicine?
Oh my God, that should be the question. Why? Well, the reason is politics, greed, racism. This plant was available and was prescribed by doctors in the United States of America. And it was in the pharmacopoeia from 1850 to 1942. Most doctors don't even know that. Okay? And the United States of America has the patent number 6630507, which was issued on October 7th, 2003. And it states cannabinoids as an antioxidant and neuroprotectant. So they've known about this. And it's appalling. Cannabis is in Schedule 1 along with heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. And it's been there since 1970. And what they're saying is that there's no medical use for it in the United States, that there's no medical research for it in the United States, and a potential for abuse. And meanwhile, it was listed as a medicine for treatment of opioid addiction, insanity, alcoholism.
That's very ridiculous because it's on the books on both sides.
Thank you for, yeah. So the truth has to be told. And so my mission is that I want the word endocannabinoid and the system known to everybody in the world and how cannabis works within our own body. So we have endocannabinoids that are produced in our body. There's phytocannabinoids that are from a plant and synthetic cannabinoids that are made in a laboratory. For example, Marinol, which is a synthetic pharmaceutical medicine that's out there that is prescribed by doctors. Phytocannabinoids come from plants, endocannabinoids from our body. All three of these work with our receptors to help us balance for life.
That's wonderful. So the phytocannabinoids, that's what we get from the herb, whether we smoke it, we eat it, we drink it, or whatever.
Yes.
So in terms, comparing that to the synthetic one, which one?
I say the plant, because the plant is the whole plant. And with the synthetics, it's only one chemical that you're getting. Synthetics are like one molecule. Marinol is just THC. But the whole plant, you want all the chemicals. You want the entourage effect. And cannabis, canna means stalk or fiber. Bis, a plant with two sexes. What we know is that the plant has over 400 different chemicals, over 100 different cannabinoids and terpenes, just to mention a few.
Wow, I actually did not know that. Well, thank you very much.
I just want to leave you with my statement.
Sure.
Cannabis is not an entrance drug. It's an exit drug from pharmaceuticals and narcotics.
Wow, that's a great way to look at it. Thank
Absolutely.
you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Hannah Ballin.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.